Imagine finally escaping the life you've always hated, only to discover that the place you thought would set you free is home to the most terrifying creatures in the universe. A group of young colonists risk everything for a chance at a better future. But deep in the darkness of an abandoned space station, they uncover a nightmare humanity was never meant to survive. This is Alien, Romulus. Rain Carradine has spent her entire life trapped on a mining colony where hope is a luxury nobody can afford. The corporation controlling the colony squeezes every last drop of labor from its workers, treating people as expendable resources rather than human beings. Rain dreams of escape. She wants to leave behind the toxic air, endless shifts, and a future that has already been decided for her. The only person who truly matters to her is Andy, an android reprogrammed by her late father. Unlike the cold synthetic beings people fear, Andy is gentle, awkward, and fiercely loyal to Rain. He isn't just a machine. His family. Rain believes she has finally earned her ticket out. But that hope is crushed when the corporation extends her labor contract without consent, effectively stealing years of her life. For a moment, it feels like destiny has locked every exit. Then Tyler arrives with a dangerous opportunity. He and his friends have discovered an abandoned Weyland-Yutani space station drifting in orbit. The station supposedly contains cryogenic equipment capable of helping them reach a distant world where they can finally begin new lives. The mission is illegal. The station is unstable. And nobody truly knows what happened there. But for people with nothing left to lose, danger becomes negotiable. Rain reluctantly agrees. Alongside Tyler, his pregnant sister Kay, Tyler's girlfriend Bjorn, Bjorn's sister Navarro, and Andy, the group steals a ship and launches toward the massive station suspended in silence above the colony. As they approach, the station appears lifeless. Dark. Forgotten. It resembles the corpse of a giant beast drifting through space. Yet beneath its stillness lies evidence of chaos. The station, known as Romulus, had once been part of Weyland-Yutani's secret operations. Something catastrophic happened here, forcing everyone aboard into a desperate struggle they ultimately lost. The young scavengers don't understand the significance of what they're walking into. But fans of humanity's darkest history would recognize the warning signs immediately. Because Weyland-Yutani never abandons anything without a reason. Inside the station, the corridors are eerily quiet. Emergency lights flicker. Abandoned equipment floats weightlessly. Signs of evacuation and violence decorate the walls. The group splits up to search for the cryogenic supplies they desperately need. At first, their plan works. They locate functioning cryostasis units and prepare to leave before the station collapses. Then they discover the laboratory. Within its sealed chambers rest dozens of mysterious organic pods. Eggs. Silent. Waiting. Before anyone can fully comprehend what they've found, Navarro becomes separated from the others. Something moves in the shadows. Fast. Spider-like. Terrifying. A facehugger launches itself toward her. Panic erupts. The creature wraps around her head, forcing its tail around her throat with horrifying precision. The group manages to remove it, but confusion quickly turns into dread. Andy accesses old station records and uncovers the truth. The station scientists had been experimenting with Xenomorph specimens recovered from previous encounters. Weyland-Yutani wasn't trying to destroy these creatures. They wanted to understand them. Control them. Weaponize them. Greed had once again opened a door that should have remained sealed forever. Navarro insists she's fine. She wants to leave immediately. Everyone agrees. But horror has already entered their ship. As they attempt their escape, Navarro suddenly begins convulsing in agony. She collapses. Her body betrays her from the inside. Then, in one of cinema's most iconic nightmares, a chestburster tears violently from her chest. Blood sprays. Screams echo through the ship. The newborn Xenomorph escapes into the station before anyone can react. Shock freezes the group. Moments earlier, they had been thieves chasing freedom. Now they are prey. The creature matures rapidly. Faster than biology should allow. Through the station's labyrinthine corridors, it sheds its infant form and evolves into the perfect organism. Sleek. Intelligent. Merciless. One by one, the survivors realize they're being hunted by something beyond their understanding. Bjorn's fear transforms into anger. He lashes out at Andy, blaming the android for their situation. Distrust toward synthetic beings resurfaces, exposing long-buried prejudices. But Andy is different. He doesn't abandon Rain. He doesn't prioritize corporate directives. He protects. Even when everyone else questions his loyalty. As the Xenomorph stalks them through the station, another threat emerges. The facehuggers aren't gone. Dozens remain hidden within the abandoned laboratories. Their attacks force the survivors into desperate escapes through zero-gravity corridors and collapsing chambers. The station itself becomes an enemy. Its orbit is decaying. Time is running out. Rain begins to understand the horrifying scale of Weyland-Yutani's experiments. Scientists aboard Romulus had attempted to exploit the creature's extraordinary biology, believing they could unlock evolutionary breakthroughs and medical advancements. Instead, they unleashed hell. Human arrogance had once again mistaken intelligence for wisdom. Kay, already emotionally fragile due to her pregnancy, becomes increasingly vulnerable. She clings to the hope that survival remains possible. That somewhere beyond the terror, a future still exists for her unborn child. Tyler assumes responsibility as the group's protector. His motivation is simple. He refuses to lose the people he loves. Yet courage alone means nothing against a predator designed by nature to kill. The Xenomorph attacks without warning. Its acidic blood melts through surfaces. Its movements are silent. Its patience unnerving. Every corner becomes a potential death sentence. The survivors adapt. They study its behavior. They exploit brief opportunities to fight back. But victory always feels temporary. Rain emerges as the emotional center of the group. She refuses to surrender to fear. The girl who once dreamed only of escape discovers a strength she never knew she possessed. Her bond with Andy deepens as chaos intensifies. He isn't merely following programming. He makes choices. He sacrifices. He cares. Their relationship challenges the definition of humanity itself. Who is truly human? The people driven by greed and self-interest? Or the machine capable of compassion? As they search for a way off the station, Andy uncovers additional data revealing the horrifying extent of Romulus's final days. Crew members turned against one another. Containment protocols failed. Executives prioritized preserving research over preserving lives. Everyone paid the price. And now, history threatens to repeat itself. Tyler's determination ultimately leads him into direct confrontation with the creature. The battle is brutal. Raw survival instinct clashes against biological perfection. Despite their efforts, losses continue mounting. Every death chips away at morale. Every sacrifice raises the emotional stakes. Meanwhile, Kay's condition deteriorates. Fear for her unborn child pushes her toward desperate decisions. She becomes entangled in the remnants of the station's experimental research, unknowingly placing herself at the center of an entirely new nightmare. Rain races against time. The station is falling apart. Escape routes disappear. Alarms scream throughout the corridors. Xenomorphs close in from every direction. The climax erupts into complete chaos. Explosions tear through Romulus. Gravity fluctuates. Debris rains through the station's interior. Rain and Andy fight side by side, relying on trust forged through years of shared hardship. Each decision carries enormous consequences. Each step could be their last. But just when survival seems possible, the nightmare evolves once more. The experiments aboard Romulus have created something different. Something unnatural. A horrifying fusion born from humanity's obsession with controlling evolution. The resulting creature embodies the ultimate consequence of corporate ambition unchecked by morality. It isn't merely another monster. It's a warning. Kay becomes its tragic focal point, transforming what should have been a symbol of hope into a devastating confrontation between love, fear, and survival. Rain faces an impossible choice. Save herself. Or risk everything to save someone else. The frightened worker who once wanted only freedom now embraces responsibility. She chooses compassion over self-preservation. Even when the universe gives her every reason not to. The final struggle pushes Rain beyond her limits. Using intelligence, courage, and sheer determination, she confronts horrors that would shatter most people. and he stands beside her until the very end. Together, they challenge monsters both alien and human. Because the true enemy was never just the Xenomorph. It was greed. Exploitation. The belief that human lives are expendable in pursuit of profit and power. As Romulus collapses into destruction, Rain finally escapes the nightmare that consumed everyone else. Exhausted. Traumatized. Forever changed. She looks toward the stars with a deeper understanding of the universe she inhabits. Space isn't an endless frontier filled with wonder. It's indifferent, cold, and terrifying. Yet despite unimaginable loss, something remarkable survives. Hope. Rain's journey began with escape. It evolved into survival. And ultimately became a testament to resilience. She discovered that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing to move forward despite it. The shadows of Romulus may never release their grip on her memories. The screams. The blood. The faces of those she couldn't save. The monsters lurking beyond the darkness. But she carries forward the lessons they left behind. Humanity's greatest strength isn't technology. It isn't wealth. It isn't corporate dominance. It's the ability to choose empathy when fear demands selfishness. And somewhere in the endless void of space, other abandoned stations drift silently through the stars. Other secrets wait to be uncovered. Other nightmares remain asleep. Because in this universe, evil doesn't always announce itself with roars and violence. Sometimes it hides behind contracts, labor quotas, scientific ambition, and promises of a better future. The Xenomorph remains one of the deadliest creatures ever encountered. But humanity's refusal to learn from its mistakes may be even more dangerous. And that's what makes this story truly terrifying. Because monsters from the stars are rare. Human greed is not. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to subscribe and share movie story recaps so you never miss another unforgettable movie breakdown. Drop a comment below and tell us which movie you want us to recap next. Until then, remember this. In space, you don't always hear danger coming. Sometimes, by the time you realize you're being hunted, it's already too late.